Greetings to all of the masses currently listening in. This is Commander Savage, coming to you live from the Shell Shock headquarters. I have myself full confidence that if all do their duty tweeting, if no liberal is neglected from trolling, and if the best tweets are made, they are being made, we shall prove ourselves once again able to defend our Twitter home, to ride out the storm of liberalism, and to outlive the menace of transgenderism, if necessary, for years, and if necessary, alone. At any rate, that is what we are going to try to do. That is the resolve of the freedom movement of the Twitter Republic. That is the will of the people and of the world. We shall go on to the end. We shall tweet in France. We shall tweet on the seas and in the ocean. We shall tweet with growing confidence and growing strength in the air. We shall defend our homeland of Twitter, whatever the cost may be. We shall tweet on the beaches. We shall tweet on the landing grounds. And we shall tweet in the fields and in the streets. We shall tweet in the hills. And we shall never surrender. And even if, which I do not for a moment believe, this Twitterverse, or a large part of it, was subjugated and starving from censorship, then our allies beyond the seas of Truth Social, armed and guarded by the Trump fleet, would carry on the struggle until, in God's good time, the New World Order fails, with all its power and might, steps forth to the rescue and the liberation of freedom. To the Twitter fighters out there, we are with you. Stay the course. That was fucking beautiful.
Nailed it.
My dick is so hard right now.
Jesus.
Oh my God. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the All American Savage Show podcast. Look, it has been an amazing 24 hours. I don't know if you've not been watching the news right now, but Twitter has now been sold to Elon Musk. He is in charge. And holy shitballs, the meltdowns have been, I almost want to say, they have been even better than the Trump inauguration in 2019. I have never seen, it's been crazy. I love it. I love it. Now, I did a live feed on Instagram last night trying to explain to people like the reality of what the situation meant. Number one, before we get started, if you're not following me on Twitter, the Savage Army needs you. The Savage Army needs you. You can follow me at Sergeant Savage, enlist, and take your place on the line, on the Twitter sphere, on the front lines of Twitter, taking it back to the enemy. They are losing ground. They are forfeiting every day. The pronoun battalions are falling. I stood gazing out upon the battle space of Twitter, smoldering Twitter accounts laying in waste, from liberalism's running from us as we advance. And we do so knowing we have God, facts, logic, and chromosomes on our side. It's been amazing. It has been amazing. So, yeah, it's a big win. Now, people are instantly saying, we don't trust Elon Musk. I get that. I don't trust Elon either. I don't trust anybody. But I think what people are failing to understand is that it's not that we're going to get ultimate free speech on Twitter. That's impossible. We talked about this before. There always have to be terms of services in place on any social media platform. Otherwise, you have complete anarchy and chaos. You don't want that. You can't have that. But based upon what Elon has been saying, he's a free speech absolutist to an extent, I would imagine. Already, and I'm seeing this firsthand on Twitter, already accounts are being unshadow banned. I've had a few friends that I follow said now they're seeing accounts they haven't seen in a very long time populating on their timeline. Something is happening. It's already changing. It's nuts. I'm actually seeing, I didn't believe it would be this fast. Like, it's going to take a few weeks. No, it's already, which tells me Elon had a plan.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ice Cube or Ice T, one of the Ices, I'm not sure which one, tweeted out at Elon like, hey, brother, lift my shadow ban. People know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, in direct opposition to this, what does the left do? Well, that's easily answered. What does the left always do? Now, Sean King, Talcum X, Mr. Fake Black Supremacist who's actually white, instantly goes on the attack, accusing Elon of being a racist. Look, Sean, bro, honestly, I think you're just pissed off that Elon Musk is more African-American than you. I think that's what you're really mad about. And then he goes on to say something along the lines of like, conservatives, if you want to back them to a corner, ask them this. If they're such free speech supporters, do they agree with have anti-Semitism towards Jews? Ask them that. And the answer to that is unequivocally yes. Just like you have been racist towards whites for the longest time, and you've gotten away with it. Suddenly, when whites start pushing back on you black liberals, you don't like that. You can't handle it. The community of empowerment, you suddenly start melting. When statistics start getting thrown in your faces in regards to violent crime and your community being the majority perpetrating of it, you don't like that. Instantly, you shut down. The race card gets pulled. And naturally, as we're seeing it unfold right now, every single liberal out there instantly saying Elon is racist. That's crazy, right?
Didn't take very long.
Didn't take long at all. The same ones that loved him for providing, Starlink to Ukraine. They give him the internet. They loved him. They hailed him as a hero. Oh, we love Elon. We love you. And then Elon says, hey, I'm going to buy Twitter. And
you racist
son of a bitch.
How dare you?
Liberals are scared right now. In the Twitterverse, liberals are scared because you no longer have Big Daddy Twitter having your back. Now you actually have to engage in debate. You actually have to back your freaking statements. Sorry, transgenders, you don't get to sit there and claim the science and have other people banned that disagree with you when they quote actual science. Doesn't work anymore. Your safe space on Twitter is gone. Now you're going to have to stand and fight. And if you think winning an argument equates to having somebody banned because they countered you with an actual fact-based statement, you don't have that opportunity anymore. Now you have to defend yourself. And I love it. There's no holds barred. I was watching, there's a lady, Sarah Gonzalez. I think she works for the Blaze Media. Somebody turned me on to her page. Instantly starts tweeting, trans women are not women. Blacks are not oppressed. And I'm like, I fucking love this. I love this. This is how it should be. Instantly, white fragility is gone and it's turned into black fragility or liberal fragility.
Yeah.
Twitter is a war. It's a war right now, and I'm loving it. I even got Gina Carano involved. If you go look at
her ass into it,
I'm telling you, man, I'm pulling everybody. I don't give a shit. We're going after everybody. It's no holds bar fucking WWE SmackDown in the ring, bro. If you go look at my Twitter feed, I'm telling you, like, I'm not even high, and I'm thinking this is some high grade A quality tweets here, folks. Some grade A tweets. This is so funny, folks. It's gonna make your pee-pee laugh. If you have a pee-pee, if it's an Indian or natty, I don't care. It's gonna laugh. And of course, Trump already saying he's not returning to Twitter. He's going to stick to Truth Social, which I feel is a very stupid move. Go back to Twitter. Trump, Truth Social is garbage. You can improve it over time, reestablish yourself on Twitter, and then push people back to Truth Social once it's ready.
Do both.
Do both, 100%.
Because you have some people that just won't go back to Twitter.
Well, there's a lot of conservatives are going back right now. Like, I've been calling for people, go back. Let's go back, take the fight to the enemy. Go back and push hard on these pieces of shit. Make them afraid. Make them scared to show their face on the Twitter world. We will tweet them as they scream in the skies. We shall tweet them with their pink beanie hats on. I'm telling you, no holds barred. Go to town. Go to town. And I'm loving it. And people are tagging me in these meltdowns, and I'm sharing it. Go after them. Ratio them. Get in the comments and shred them, baby. Shred them with facts and logic. Now it is time to take the fight back to the enemy. And people are losing their shit over there. The meltdowns. I've posted a lot of my Instagram stories. You're talking about guys like Sean King even came out and said that I carry hollow point rounds and I'm trained in, ground fighting, so I'm not scared. I think he was talking to Jack Probasek. He's like, you white supremacist. Like, shut the fuck up, you black racist. You black fucking racist. Instantly resorting to threats of violence because somebody disagreed with you.
Yeah.
Talcum X over there just getting his ass handed. And here's the funny part. He deleted his Twitter account. He deactivated it last night, which I thought, he's done this before. And I was just like, okay, he's scared. Well, it comes back out today and relaunches it. It says, I did that because I was getting doxing and death threats. You kind of do the same thing to other people, so I really don't give a fuck. Yeah. I don't care.
Do you really think that guy's gonna delete his cash cow?
Absolutely not. And then his Instagram went private because I tried tagging him. Yeah. And so in that post he made about like, ask a conservative, like, Sean, I'll debate you any day of the week, bro, with half my brain tied behind my fucking back. With half my brain tied behind my fucking back, I will debate you in a heartbeat and I will shred you. I will shred you. And then I'll get accused of white on black violence. That's usually how it goes. Oh my God, you raped him. Like, what? No, I just disagree. He's like, oh my God, you're a racist. Where are you getting from that? You just hate him because he's black. Well, he's actually white. But okay, whatever. This is where we're at. And liberals are melting. And I love it. And then instantly, Babylon B is back. They were banned on Twitter. Yep. Tucker Carlson is back. Now here's the thing. It's not that I like or dislike a lot of these people, but I'm glad to see them reemerge back into this Twitter sphere. I tweeted out yesterday, bring back Milo. Now, I know Milo's probably not the same as he was. Apparently, he's not gay anymore, and he's been through a lot. But, oh, my God. Imagine. I'm just, if you will in your mind's eye.
Alex Jones.
We're going to bring back Alex Jones. I see it happening. I honestly see it happening. He'd be foolish not to. Relaunch your account, and get back in there and get back in the fight. Even though I don't agree with him on a lot of things, I still would rather have him on this side to have more firepower towards the left. More people are coming back, and it is lovely. It is so lovely. It's great. So those out there that are trying to downplay this, I've seen in a few stories and a few friends of mine, it's like, you'll pardon me if I don't give a fuck what's going on Twitter. I do. While some of you people that are posting in these Instagram stories that have massive followings, I don't care what Twitter has to say. I have other things. Blah, blah, blah. You've been fighting on Instagram where you're safe, where you've established yourself. There have been other people fighting on the battlegrounds of Twitter every single fucking day, combating misinformation. And just because you're not there, do not discount the fight that they have done. Because here's the deal. Twitter would never have been bought by Elon if conservatives had not been vocal and standing up against leftist tyranny and then been struck down numerous times on the international stage. No one would have taken notice. These brave men and women that get up there, that are tweeting out, that I know people are not going to really take this seriously, but you should. They're combating misinformation. They're trying to hold those accountable that are spreading misinformation. These are the voices that were silenced. These are the cries in the social media sphere that the left tried to silence. Elon took note, and now Elon acted. And now you've got a platform that potentially, I hope it does, I'm not saying it will, that potentially could be one of the most, if not the most popular social media platform there is. And imagine if it is actually fair and balanced in terms of services are applied equally across the board. Then you've got something there. If Elon can turn this into a cash cow like I know he can, he's got something there. And instantly the people's like, I'm not going to trust a dude that wants to put microchips in our brains and shit. It's like, okay, I've read these articles. Where are you getting this from? Like, I've read a lot of this.
Yeah, you're gonna have to have a source on a lot of this.
Exactly. Stuff. And so I've seen these articles and people are sharing them. It's like, well, who wrote this? There's a lab where he was implanting brain chips. It's like, okay.
I was in a bathroom stall and it was written on the back of the door.
Yeah. I'm just one of these.
Incredible.
It's just one of these things now to where people are going to try and find any conspiracy theory to latch onto to discredit somebody. But here's the deal. The right needs this win. Don't try and shit on it. For years, we have been silenced. We have been censored. We have been essentially oppressed on social media. You can't even have a voice on Facebook. My page of Facebook of over 600,000. I'm lucky if even 200 or 2,000 even see what I post. It's so heavily shadow banned. For years, we've been pushing out this stuff, fighting misinformation, fighting the progressive liberal agenda, which is now transformed into the sexualization of children. For years, this has been happening repeatedly. And we finally have a win. We finally score a win. And what happens? People are going to try and discredit it. Oh, it's just Twitter. You're right. But now we've got a new battleground that has fair and balanced rules, hopefully. It's a good thing. Instagram, it's not. Facebook, it's not. None of these platforms are. Hopefully Twitter makes the change. Elon's taking it private again. The board is gone. He cut $3 million right there. Love it.
You'd think having Jack Dorsey's stamp of approval for, if you're a liberal, would carry a little bit of weight, right?
Jack Dorsey's trying to position himself to where he's kind of like being the fence rider. It's like, no, you're the causation of all of this.
Yeah, he is, but him coming out and saying that, he would trust Elon Musk to run Twitter.
He's just trying to salvage what he's got left. I mean, he's rich as already. I mean, but people, I fucking hate the guy. He's a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
He's responsible for censoring. So at that point, I think he's just playing to the audience. Yeah. He's a populist. He's going to play because he sees the tide shifting on Twitter. Conservatives are going to start pushing that because here's the deal. Truth Social dropped the ball. Like, Truth Social's done for a while, honestly. With Twitter reemerging and people, it's already very easy user. They know what it is. Truth Social, you fucked it up. Like, my God, like, I'm not going to lie, dude. When I see Truth Social posting on their stories, I saw they didn't capitalize certain words. It just looked like a 3-year-old wrote it. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, this is your one time to launch something to counter the left, and it's like it's being run by a teenager. Like, what the fuck is going on? I hope it continues to grow. I hope it continues to do very well. But I'm telling you right now, the way they launched that was so JV, was so just amateur. I was shocked. I was like, this is ridiculous. Free speech is critical, but hate speech should still be tackled, don't you think? There's no such thing as hate speech. What's hate speech? Islam calls for the death of those that are not of Islam faith. Is that hate speech? Hate speech to you people are opinions that don't coincide with your beliefs. That's your hate speech. One man's hate speech is another man's religion. What makes you the moral arbiter of what should be classified as hate speech? I'm a free speech absolutist. I think you should have the right to say bomb on a plane, but I also think the company should have the right to kick your ass the hell off. You should have the right to say whatever the hell you want. I don't give a shit in your own area. But when you walk into a business of somebody else's, their rules apply. But free speech is free speech. Hate speech? No. That's a red herring that people try and use to silence others who disagree with their narrative. And it's mainly rooted in progressive ideology. That's all that is. That's all that is. That's what people do. That's their attempt. And that's why Twitter right now is such an explosive environment, because liberals are scared. They are genuinely scared. Because what are they saying as far as conservatives coming back on? Oh, the white nationalists are returning. Where? What are you talking about? Well, it's because
everybody who's white.
Everybody who disagrees with liberals automatically are a white supremacist.
Even if you're, ask Larry Elder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The black face of white supremacy.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. As long as you're not on their side, you're a white supremacist.
It's ridiculous. So every liberal on there right now, every single liberal on there, targeting certain people for being gay, for example. Okay, I get targeted for being a conservative or a libertarian. So what? I don't give a shit. Are you alive? What are you talking about? Targeted, attacked. What? People disagreeing with you? That's attacking to you? Like, what do you want here? What you want is an echo chamber to just not. Here's the deal, and I even tweeted it. The LGB, you better cut the T off, or that shit's gonna sink you. The transgender movement is rooted in insanity, and as far as the LGB goes, you better get away from it. You would better get away from it. Tweeted that out. I didn't get banned. I was like, wow, I like this. I like this. Because what's going on with the T community? It's an evolution to where it's attacking female rights. It's become the new patriarchy, if you think about it. Men posing as women to compete and beat women. If that's not patriarchal in its truest form, I don't know what is. Sorry, you got some screws loose. I don't care if that offends you. Stop walking on eggshells. We have to bring society back into the realm of, common sense to some nth degree. But why is it? And here's the deal. Being gay doesn't make you special. Being trans does not make you special. Being black does not make you special. Being a minority does not make you special. Guess what makes you special? Fucking actually having the actions to prove that. Living outside of your ethnicity or your sexuality. Those that embody those as their identity, you're fucking losers. You're a loser. That's all there is to it. If being gay, and that's why I saw Twitch did this thing of like, it's the all gay stream thing. It's like, why the fuck does it matter if they're gay? Who gives a shit what they stick up their ass or in their mouth? Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, nobody.
That's crazy.
It shouldn't be like celebrated any more than heterosexual
100%. 100%. That's just crazy to me. Bro, for example, you just said Islam calls for the killing of all who oppose it. Is that that is blatantly wrong? You think you should spread, people might believe you do? Well, go look up for yourself and prove me wrong. That's weird because I've actually fought them and it's actually true. Have you? Because I have. I did 4.5 years in Iraq and Afghanistan. What did you do? You think, oh, okay, so you're the expert. But don't you have the ability to go research for yourself? You certainly do. But now you're basically saying that if somebody says something that you might not like or agree with, well then it's hate speech. No, that's not true. I am Muslim, dude. Then you should know. You should know. Sorry. Sorry if that offends you. I mean, I really don't give a shit. I mean, if you don't like it, here's what you can do right now. Here's what you can do. Turn the channel. You can tune out. I didn't ask you to be here. You chose to come to my chat room. You chose to come to my channel, but you are staying here engaging with me. That is your personal choice. If you turn the channel and you leave the room, the hate speech, quote unquote hate speech, goes away.
It's that easy.
It's just that easy.
It doesn't get any simpler than that. If you don't like something that somebody's saying, you could turn and walk away.
Absolutely. But we can't do that anymore because now it's basically we have to have massive agreement. There should be mass forced agreement, and you can't have that.
Even people in their own private homes can't have private conversations without, someone records it, leaks it, all of a sudden...
Yep. Cancel universe comes after. Absolutely.
Everything, yeah.
Absolutely. It's crazy.
The one guy had to sell his basketball team.
There's been a lot of bullshit. And it's ridiculous. But that's just, and here's the thing. It's not just Islam. I mean, hell, in the Old Testament and the Bible, it says very similar things. I'm just using Islam as an example. But shouldn't that be classified as hate speech? It's in the Bible. If a man or a woman commits adultery, they're liable to be stoned to death. That's in the Bible. Is that hate speech? I mean, technically it's calling for violence, but it's still allowed. The point that I'm trying to make, unless you're actually violating somebody else's rights or infringing upon their personal safety, you should be allowed to say whatever the hell you want to say. That's the way I stand on that. All right, let's get into the news. A lot of stuff to cover, and it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I had to quote the Winston Churchill speech. Hope you guys like that. All right, Elon wins. Twitter to be sold to Elon Musk. This was breaking yesterday, actually. So there was a lot of speculation saying by the end of the day yesterday, there should be a final bid / offer. It was made, and they accepted. After a 2-week battle against opposition from the platform's board members, self-declared free speech absolutist Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, and currently the richest man in the world, has succeeded in his bid to buy Twitter. In a press release, the Twitter board announced that they had reached an agreement with the multi-billionaire to sell 100% of the company at Musk's original price of $54.20 per share. Twitter today announced that it has entered. Musk has been slowly acquiring shares in Twitter in the first quarter, becoming the company's largest shareholder at the end of March. His highly publicized campaign to take the company private kicked off 12 days ago when he offered to buy 100% of the publicly traded company. The prospect of a self-declared free speech absolutist taking over the company has led to outrage from the platform's progressive users. Now listen to this, as well as Jeff Bezos, who owns the Washington Post. The reason Bezos is threatened by this is he no longer controls the narrative, and there are way more people on Twitter than on his newspaper. Elon now has the ability to potentially control the narrative if he wants to. But if he chooses not to, more people are going to flock there. More people are going to head to Twitter. When these companies are owned by the likes of Jeff Bezos and the rest of them, they control the narrative. They control the printing machines, if you will. They choose what they want you to see. It's just like CNN or Fox. They're going to put what headline they want you to see in the forefront, regardless of how important or unimportant it might be. They're controlling it because there is no such thing as like actual journalism anymore. It's dead.
Yeah, we saw that with the Project Veritas when they got on their calls with Bezos' team.
Yeah.
Talking about the narratives they were going to be pushing, stuff that they were going to highlight and stuff that they weren't going to talk about at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they control it. Whoever controls the information controls everything.
Yeah, I agree. But the beautiful part about this, though, is what helped institute this change. Capitalism.
Yeah.
Capitalism. And then instantly in the comments, liberals are like, oh, he could have spent that money. Well, here's the deal. It's his money. Didn't you liberals sit there for years and tell people on the right, if you don't like it, go start your own Twitter? And then they did on True Social, and it kind of bombed a little bit, but they started making fun of it. And now you've lost Twitter, and what you're saying, Elon shouldn't do that with his money. He should do what I want him to do with his money. I'm just going to squirt brown gravy out of my butthole. Shut the fuck up. Suddenly, all the fat, blue-haired lesbians out there are just having complete meltdowns, and I absolutely love it. I love it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. By the way, if you tag me on Twitter at Sergeant Savage in these meltdowns, please do. Please do. I greatly appreciate that. Twitter employees distraught over Musk buyout to in shock to speak in report. Twitter employees have reportedly struggled with the news that the company is on the verge of being acquired by Tesla CEO Elon Musk. When did this drop? This hit 2 hours ago. All right. Shocked to speak over the billionaire's plans to promote free speech. They are scared of free speech. And it's technically not even free, but it's just like fair, impartial speech, I guess you should say. Yeah. The terms of services applied equally across the board. Why are, we seriously have to ask ourselves, why are liberals so scared of this? It's not because of racism. It's not because of white supremacy. That doesn't even exist to that level. I've been on Twitter for a while. I don't see it there. Why are you so afraid? What are you so scared of? And I love seeing it. Daddy Twitter isn't there to protect you anymore.
That's a great question. It's like, what are people so afraid of?
Free speech.
Yeah. I mean,
they are literally upset that Elon, an African-American, is coming in there and say, hey, I'm not going to shadow ban people anymore. Algorithms that are open to the public for them to see. No more shadow banning. No more banning people who have a difference of opinion. He even tweets out, I hope my biggest critics stay on the platform. If that doesn't tell you something, isn't that a good thing? Don't we want to engage in diverse, or don't we want to have like a good debate? Exchanges of ideas. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to troll the absolute shit out of people because, like Sean King, there is no debate to be had there. You are a black supremacist. You should be treating accordingly.
Oh, yeah. That guy's a total
He's a piece of shit. You are a black grifter. You are 100% a black grifter.
He's used another race to become wealthy.
Mm-hmm. Just like the BLM. They stole from their own. You grifted your own. And now your leaders are where? They're rich. They're in power. They don't give two fucks about you. How many BLM chapters throughout the country actually receive funding from the 501c3 BLM? There were so many chapters. Like the one in Kentucky did the interview. They're like, we haven't gotten anything. Like, not at all. We had to raise it all on ourselves here locally. Nothing from them. And they think, what do they say, like 2020, they get 90 million?
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of quiche.
It's a lot of quiche. What were you doing with it? Oh, you were buying $6 million mansions. To do what? Diversify in real estate? I don't recall being a 501c3, you being able to do that for investment purposes.
Yeah, their funds are supposed to be available for the public, right? I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Depends on how they have it set up. I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure if it's a 501c3, you have to have it set up so people can see what you're spending.
Oh, yeah. Your 990 has to be published annually to where they can see the actual.
Right.
But they also said they haven't published one in a while.
I mean,
that's why the IRS is taking an interest. But we'll see if anything actually comes to fruition from that.
Yeah. Do you think the IRS will go after them?
I think so. I think they've generated enough attention, national/international attention, that if the IRS doesn't, I think enough voices and concerns were raised even by black people on the left saying, what the hell's going on? Then the IRS starts listening. When white people complain, the IRS doesn't give a shit. When minorities complain, then the IRS/the government's going to start taking an ear. It's like, wait a minute.
Well, I mean,
we got to listen to minorities because white people who, like, by and large, make up the majority of the population, they don't fucking matter because they're white and they have privilege, they have all this. But when the minorities start complaining, we got to listen.
Well, yeah. You had the Obama administration weaponize the IRS.
Yeah.
People like Lois
and
Lerner.
the FBI. And,
right.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say whether or not they would be, the right people to.
Yeah. I agree. I
don't know. I just have very little faith.
Oh, absolutely. I have no faith in this government, much less any arm of it. It's all bullshit. In a reaction to news of the sale, some employees shared tear-filled emojis and memes of the emotional breakdowns. Can you... Oh, I love it. I wish they would film this so I could jerk off to this. I would love to sit there and look at these video and picture meltdowns of these ugly fucking liberals having these mental breakdowns so I could just pleasure myself to it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. It's the insane going more insane, and I'm here for it, baby. I'm popping the popcorn. I got the lube. I'm ready to fucking do this. I am ready to do this. Twitter had an employee town hall on Monday where management reportedly struggled to adequately answer questions about the company's view on free speech going forward, future layoffs, and whether Twitter will earn revenue from advertising. Here's what you can do, Twitter employees that are scared. Learn to code.
There it is.
There it is.
Or start your own platform.
Or start your own platform. You guys know how to do it. Go start your own Twitter.
It's a couple options for you.
You've got, come on, pull your resources. Didn't you tell conservatives to do this for the longest time? You could launch your little Twitter platform.
Toozy woozy.
You gonna launch nothing. You're not gonna do anything, are you? You're just gonna sit there and bitch and moan. I love it.
Yeah,
I absolutely love it. It's great. Like these breakdowns are fucking amazing. And here's the deal. These Twitter employees, you silenced conservatives, you ruined lives, you allowed the doxing of so many people, and you said nothing. I don't give two fucks about you. Good. I hope you are homeless on the street. I hope you are homeless on the street. And of course, you've got this bullshit that is now hitting the stands to where MSNBC host trashed for warning that Elon Musk could use Twitter to ban political candidates. He says, "You absolute clown." Again, this is what liberals do. It is every situation that goes counter to what they want is instantly nuclear. It's instantly nuclear. We remember 2016, Trump got elected. Oh my God! It's World War III. We're going to war with North Korea. He's going to tank the economy. He's going to lock the gays in concentration camps. Why am I not surprised? What happened? The economy was booming. Gays were left alone. Black unemployment was at an all-time low. How quickly you people forgot this. But instantly, when you don't get your way, everything is nuclear, and everything I don't like is racist. Everyone I disagrees with me is a Nazi. That's how they are. That's why no one takes you seriously anymore. Brian Stelter, that fat little chubby white fucking nerd. I would love to just punch that little piece of shit. Instantly. Well, are people going to want to stay on Twitter? Because there's not going to be any laws or rules. I mean, it's like going to a party where there's no laws. And anything goes, do you want to go to that party? Brian, you never went to a party growing up. You were a fucking loser. You were a short, fat, bald little piece of shit. I'm surprised there's a woman or a man alive that would let you stick your penis in them. Sincerely, I mean that. You are the epitome of a loser, dork nerd that somehow positioned himself to get into the spotlight. But realistically, you are such a douche, you should be bullied and harassed and made fun of. You're a piece of shit. And I mean that in the most Christian way possible. Yeah. I got to keep it Christian. I got to keep it hunted.
Yeah. It's true, though.
It's true.
Guy's a scumbag.
He's like, who's going to want to come on a platform where there's no laws? Stelter, there's still going to be terms of services. Once again, you are trying to intimidate people into thinking this is going to turn nuclear. It's not. All Elon is going to do is ensure that the terms of services are equally applied across the board. And may reduce a few of these terms to where he engages and engages in open discussion and debate. But again, to try and drive your point home, you try to scare your base. Oh, the Nazis are coming. I'm grabbing my guns. I don't know what to do. We're going to get Nazis on Twitter. All of a sudden we start hearing,
like, to me, these newscasters get too big of a pass for
oh my God, yeah.
all the shit that they've peddled the past.
Don Lemon should be held accountable. Brian Stelter, all of these pieces
Russian
of
collusion,
shit. Yes.
Leaving the Hunter Biden laptop story alone.
Tar and feather these motherfuckers.
Yeah, those would be my first questions.
How much have these people contributed to racism, race feuds, and race war? Joy Reid. And why is it it's always white and black liberals? Why is that? It's always liberals that do this and instigate this. This is when you actually sit there and look. You take a step back and you look at the leftist agenda. What is it rooted in? Nothing but racism. That's all you've got. You cannot argue economics. You've lost that. Biden's proved it. You cannot argue that. All you've got left is racism. That's it. That's all there is to it. And it's funny because the very same people that you voted for were responsible for imprisoning more black people than the previous administration. Weird how that works, but you don't say anything about that. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. But anyway, that's old news. You get what I'm saying? But apparently, MSNBC host Ari Melber was roasted on Twitter for worrying Monday that Elon Musk could use Twitter to secretly ban or turn down the reach of a major party's candidate ahead of an election. You mean like Facebook did? You mean like Twitter did? You mean like Instagrammed it? You're reaching at straws now because you know midterms you're getting slaughtered, baby.
Does he even hear the words that are coming out of his mouth?
I think they live in such insane depths of hypocrisy they don't even realize it.
They could shut down people's voices.
Oh my God, what they can censor, they can actually meddle in elections, kind of like the Russians were supposed to have done in 2016, which was proven false. And CNN came back years later and said, oh, we kind of fucked that one up. And then all of Hillary's little lapdogs are pleading the fifth under investigation about the Steele dossier and the Russian collusion they helped fabricate. But CNN, what are you going to do? Well, he could possibly silence me. I hope he does. You fucking leftists are not friends. I do not like you. In fact, I hate you. Not moderate Democrats. I'm talking extreme SJW leftists. That's who I'm referring to. Those that will want to see us silenced and censored. I don't care what happens to you. You're an American in name only, as far as I'm concerned. You're not for true freedom. You're not. Why would I ever want to even help you? You could be laying there drowning on the side of the road. I'm not helping you because you would 100%, like I said in the Instagram feed last night, you are the same people. You are the same exact people that would have seen me strapped down to a gurney and injected with a vaccine I didn't want. You would have seen me loaded up on the train car and taken to a camp where if I didn't want the vaccine, I had to stay. You would have been perfectly fine seeing me drafted into the military had I not been vaccinated and sent to Ukraine. These are the statements that your side has made en masse. Not onesie two, en masse. These are the same people, like Swalwell, that threaten nukes on their own people. The same people that tried to say January 6th was an insurrection. What kind of insurrection happens without fucking guns? If that had been an insurrection with guns, you'd have known it. The very same people that you managed to isolate and pin down every single January 6th protester, yet the FBI still doesn't know who planted those pipe bombs. The same people, the same political side, you are the enemies of America. And I'm not saying the right is any better, but fuck me, I would rather be with the right than you fucking leftist retards any day of the week, hands down, twice on Sunday. You people are a bunch like the DNC. Look, Democrats, if you don't realize it by now, you need to. The DNC has been compromised. The SJW seed that you allowed to be planted in your movement years ago has now come to fruition and has now blossomed. And it's blossomed into the likes of major corporations like Disney that are promoting grooming and sexualizing children. This is what the DNC is now. You cannot ignore it. You cannot deny it. That is 100% what it is. And if you don't believe me, you look on Twitter, you look on Twitch, you've got Vosh calling for this. You've got these insane pedophile-loving freaks of nature that should be taken out behind a barn and executed. These people are disgusting. They are sick. They are demented. They are not right in the head. They are not. Can you imagine sexualizing a toddler, a child, saying, yes, if you feel like a woman, here, take these hormone pills, to a child whose brain is not even fully developed for a woman until she's like 25? Or a man, and a woman's like 18, 19. Can you imagine? Drag time story hour. Oh, it's perfect. No. Absolutely. You do what you want in your own home, but don't force that shit on the people. It's disgusting. Ooh, hitting you hard today. This is what the DNC is. And that's why come up midterms, you're done. You're done. That's why you tried doxing libs of TikToks, Waypo. You wanted to silence them. And that's the beautiful part about it. All libs of TikTok does is just shares the shit you share on TikTok. That's all they do.
That's it.
They literally just repost it, and you fucking clowns give them all the content. Breitbart just posted a thing today. Let me pull it up for you. This is disgusting. I'm going to let you listen to it. It's going to blow your fucking mind. I mean, not really, but you get what I'm saying here. Hold on. Where's it at? Let me pull it up here. One sec. Here we go.
Hi, I'm a queer teacher.
I'm gender fluid. I am also a witch.
I would come out to my students every October on National Coming Out Day. I would use that as an opportunity for my students to learn how to receive somebody coming out to them. I ended up telling the...
Hold on.
Hi.
Play the whole thing.
I'm a queer teacher. And talking about them in the classroom.
Talking about gender is not something that's out of the realm for children.
Research says that there is no age too young to talk about pretty much anything.
Kids as young as 3 and 4 are actually aware of their gender identity.
If they know about it, they're ready to learn about it.
Also very aware of who they like and who they don't like. Very much ready for these topics and are way more accepting than adults when it comes to discussing these topics. My classroom is one of the gayest places probably on the planet.
Most days of the week, I come to school in stilettos so I can create an explicitly queer space for all of my students.
Everything is completely covered in rainbows. I've got flags everywhere. I've got queer literature.
Parents might complain, and there's actually a way to be really sneaky about supporting specifically queer students. Dropping a pink triangle somewhere in your room makes a huge difference because kids look for that.
Recently, we started wearing pronoun pins, and the kids get to pick a new pronoun pin. We have some that pick like she, her every single day, and we have some that change it up.
And I just double check with them if I call home what name they want, what pronouns they want, because a lot of them will just use their given name and their given pronouns. So just double check that.
I like to avoid gendered language when I talk to my students. My students really like guys, gals, and non-binary pals. I even refer to them as different animals, just to keep it light and fun.
To say that pre-K through 3rd grade are not ready for such topics is actually internalized homophobia and transphobia.
Disgusting.
From their own mouths. From their own mouths. The one gentleman, kids, research says there is no age too young to learn about anything. Really? Really?
Just the balls on these people.
Or not.
I'm telling you. You have to have some huge balls to go in there and talk to other people's kids.
You
about
deserve
sex.
to get your head caved in.
Pre-K?
Yep. Children, yep. It's disgusting. This is where we're at. And this is why the left is going to lose. You're going down in flames.
My daughter was in pre-K last year.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't imagine some scumbag going in there and talking to children about any of these topics.
This is at the hands of the LGBT.
Yeah,
this is at the hands of this ain't straight people. These are the gay people that are doing this. This is on your hands. So when you start saying transphobia and homophobia, leave the children alone. You cross the line. There's acceptance and tolerance, and I'm fine with that. But when you go after the children, then you should deal with all the wrath of the heterosexual community, and there's way more of us than there are of you. You should be scared and afraid when you try and target children. That is disgusting. Let them be children. Do not steal from them the ability to grow up in a hopefully secure environment where they can just be free and be children. But instead, and the right does this too, instead we try and indoctrinate them into our political leanings to bring them up as badges of honor of how woke or anti-woke we are. Even people teaching children about, impersonating Trump. Stop it. Let them be kids. Leave them out of it. This is an adult fight, not the children. You're fighting for the children. Don't get them involved. There's no need for that. Let them have good, secure childhoods. Fuck's sakes, I would never want to bring a child into this world right now anyway. It's insane. It's nuts to me. But that's why MSNBC is warning people. UK demands Elon Musk keeps Twitter responsible by censoring content. They are openly saying censor content. And people say, what's wrong with that? What gives them the right to dictate what should be censored and what shouldn't? Hate speech? What is hate speech?
If you have doctors, one has one opinion, one has another opinion, having them speak would be a good thing.
But I think in their mind is what opinion makes us the most money?
That's exactly what it is.
I think it's exactly what it is. It's what opinion makes us the most money. I've shared this the OK Groomer article on my on my Instagram feed. You can see it there. It's just a video. It's posted from Breitbart, and this is them. This is those people saying this tripe. You cannot hide that fact. It is out there. That's why they went after libs of TikTok to try and dox this woman. They wanted to shut her up. It's not happening. And then the woman that tried exposing him or did dox him, she got doxed. Good. Harass her. Bully the fuck out of her. Start fighting fire with fire. Yeah. Make them afraid.
That's scumbag.
It's a douchebag move to make. And I'm sorry, I am overturning the other cheek. I'm done with that. It has not worked. It has not worked. When they dox you, you go right back after them and you make it 10 times worse. And you make them afraid. That's the only way to do it. Otherwise, they're going to keep going. The government's not stopping it. They don't give a fuck.
She was the same lady who was complaining about being doxed.
Yep. And then she did it to them.
They're such hypocrites.
They're such hypocrites. I don't want to share a country with you pieces of shit. I don't. You live in these echo chambers and these cesspools of degeneracy and immorality. I don't want to share a country. Dude, if I had my way, I would deport all of you. You're disgusting individuals. I don't mean all Democrats. I'm talking about those that are actually pro-grooming, pro all this shit.
It's all these
anti-freedom
people who are in the mainstream media. It's all of those people. It's just, I think it's just such a small amount of people, but they've got the biggest microphones right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Except for Twitter.
Absolutely. It's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, look, we're running a deal right now on Shell Shock CBD. In the spirit of capitalism and how bad it's pissed off freaking people, code Twitter at shellshockcbd.com right now. We'll get you 20% off site-wide. That's right. Want to stock up on Delta 8, Rack Out Gummies, CBD oil? You're damn right. Is it opportunistic as fuck? You're fucking A-right it is, and I don't give a shit. Taking full advantage of that because I know the socialists are melting right now. That capitalism came in there and destroyed their censorship. They don't like that. So, again, code Twitter, 20% off site-wide for the remainder of this day, and that's it. It's going away.
Thanks, Elon.
Thanks, Elon.
I love that.
I hope it melts them to no it. I'm telling you, that's running. That deal started yesterday. It's going to run through to today. Again, code Twitter gets you 20% off site-wide. All right. Didn't have a long time for a podcast today. I got to take care of some other errands that are coming up, but I wanted to address this breaking story. And again, if you're not following me on Twitter, go enlist in the Savage Army at Sergeant Savage. Go give me a follow over there. We're going to continue the trolling. We're going to continue the fun, and we're going to take the fight back to the left. We're going to take Twitter back. We're going to make Twitter savage again. That's what we're going to do. So until tomorrow, I want to say thank you for tuning in. Go share the podcast. Leave us a review on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud. We appreciate your love and support. Share it to your Instagram. You are the ones that help magnify this voice and get the message out there even further, because I'm telling you right now, the way it's going, these other platforms, I sincerely feel, are going to start cracking down even more on conservatives, and it's going to force people to Twitter. Just my speculation, but we'll see. So until tomorrow, you got anything to add, my man?
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks for listening, and as always, you stay savage, America.